One feature in Hearts of Iron 4 has not been updated in 6 whole years. It has not been touched since the release of Hearts of Iron 4. Sure, it may have been tweaked with the contribution system, but overall, the mechanics of the Peace Conference system has not changed. Welcome to the Peace Conference rework. Probably the most anticipated update to Hoi 4 ever, and will fundamentally change how you exit out of wars. When the game first came out, no one understood the system. It took me a really long time to learn it too. More than likely, we're going to have to relearn a whole new system. I'll probably have to make 1,000 tutorials for you guys to understand it. Give me a month, guys, before I understand it first. The most spicy thing that's coming from there is these buttons here. Can you see them? With these, you've got some really cool options to modify how you peace out after a war that potentially could make you peace out with an even larger slice of the pie. What, you ask? Let's dig deep. First of all, let's talk about some of the jargon. First of all, it used to be called demands. Now it is called bids. When a peace conference is fired, each winning member will be able to put forward a bid for a state or a specific request for their demands. If you're the only one who made that demand and no one else contested it, it's yours. Well done. If another nation made that same request, a bidding phase will start. And the nation that has the most contribution that they've got from the war itself will be the one that'll be rewarded with it. This could result in 3 or 4 or 5-way bidding wars between nations on one particular state, which could lead into scenarios where one nation could blow most of its points just contesting one state, where, like, for instance, a minor power could gobble up all the rest. I'd really love to see the outcome of this. There's going to be some really wonky results coming up. So it looks like these are the nations that have capitulated, and these are the nations on the right making their demands. The green flag, I would probably take a guess, they're a demand that's not contested. The red flag is a contested demand, and then the actual percentage is the amount of contribution they've got to use. It looks like the Soviet Union in this case is a player because it's got the little player icons, and I believe the star number here represents the amount of bidding power they've got. So the question would be is that what if a small nation, like say India, makes requests for everything? Surely you've got a higher chance of getting something, or maybe you're limited to what you can click on based on 113 points. That would actually make more sense. The biggest outcome I see from reading all this and understanding it, I'll admit the final result might be different, is that peace conferences are going to be a lot quicker. So instead of each one of these members having to go through individual phases and hitting pass or make their demands, everyone will take their turn immediately. And therefore, if everyone spends all their points or there's no one contests their results, peace conference might end really quickly. So that's one of the big benefits. There's nothing worse in a multiplayer game. Screaming down voice chat, hit pass, hit pass, hit pass. Ugh, nightmare. Hopefully those days are over. And this is the old peace conference UI. Have a good look at it, boys, because it's going to be part of the ages now. A historical artifact put into the museum, never to be seen again. So part of By Blood Alone, we've added 5 new types of demands to a peace conference. 4 of these are new types of additional demand, which we will go into shortly. The other new demand is take Navy. So this is OP. The only way you could take Navy was to puppet like a one state and then annex that puppet, lowering their autonomy over time. It was really messy. And now you can take all their Navy by bidding for it in a peace conference. So in this case, these are the individual capital ships here. And if you are successful in making a demand, for instance, for this ship here, you will also get 25% of the screening ships. It's divided up based on how many capital ships they've got. So you're only bidding for the capitals, but then you will get a percentage of the screens depending on how many capitals they've got. In this case, 4 capitals, you get 25% of the screens for each one you actually successfully get. So this tells me that, like, if you are a really sneaky Germany, and let's say you end the Allies really early by taking out France and the UK, that means your Navy will increase by times 8, 9, maybe even 10 times. That's going to make a massive Navy, and that will mean invading the United States is going to be considerably easier because you're going to have that massive fleet that you can be able to control the Atlantic with. It's going to really change Germany games. So you've got demand a puppet, same as the oil works. You've also got change government, and then secondary demands can be applied over the top of the normal demands during the same turn or sequential turn. Next up, we have demilitarized zones. So this is similar to Rhineland and the Bosporus Strait. This prevents the target nation from placing troops in the selected state. This is pretty basic part of the historical peace conferences. It serves a way of keeping troops off borders. Feels a bit like a role-playing tool, this, because I can't really see how you would use this. I feel like there's going to be some exploits where if you ever need to go to war with a nation twice, you can demilitarize like key areas, so therefore you can encircle their army really quickly. That's the only way I could see it to your advantage. The next 2 secondary demands are both economic. They are resource rights, which is similar to the oil rights for Mexico. Is oil that you've got at the start of the game within your nations, within your borders. However, it's owned by the UK and USA. War reparations to make resolving contested demands fit into to our system. Most of these demands target a single state. So it's kind of the same way with the resource rights. You target a state and you're basically saying those factories in there belong to the nation that won the war. War reparations give control of local civilian factories, so only the civilian factories. And both of these last for a period of time, the length of which is still to be announced. So they haven't really fully confirmed how long that will actually be. To think about it, within the war span of Hoi 4, what is even the purpose of this? Because if there's a big nation that pieces out, where do you even go from here, you know? So it makes me kind of wonder how effective this is even going to be. I guess once again, it's more of an RP thing. Resource rights and war reparation options are here. Factory and resources, it is what it is. And we have another one. We have dismantle their military industries. So we'll remove military factories from a targeted state. This can be used to tear down heavily industrialized states. I feel like this is going to be another exploit tool, because I feel like if you ever need to return to a war with another nation, dismantling to begin with is going to be a really big deal. Once again, RP, 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 RP. I can see Germany dismantling the Soviet Union fully. That would be so unbelievably cool. I can see the Great War mod really taking advantage of these tools, because think about it, you're going to have the ability to do what historically was done to Germany at the end of World War I. Dismantle their military, you're going to be able to seize their resources in the Rhineland, and war reparations as well. It's going to be everything. And of course, demilitarize the Rhineland as well. You're going to have all the options in there. This doesn't seem like a big update, but this is massive. This is fundamentally changing one of the most core game mechanics that's been a part of Hoi 4 for such a long time. It's another one of those, well, if I get my hands on it and start playing with it, I'm going to have a really good idea how it's going to work. But at the moment, it's a little bit question mark, question mark, question mark. Here's my expectations. 1, peace conferences are going to be considerably quicker, particularly in multiplayer. Hallelujah. 2, minor powers, particularly with states that border them, are more likely to take those in a peace conference, such as very small nations such as Hungary, Romania, for instance. I think those nations will now be able to take 1 or 2 states that border them. In this case, they will be cheaper for those nations. 3, it does potentially mean that if you are the only person who's got war contribution when you piece someone out, you are going to become incredibly strong because you are taking the entirety of their navy off them. And it's going to be really cool to see a supercharged Germany with the navies of France and the UK. That's going to be intense. Does this have exploit potential? It does, and I can't wait to play around with it. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe if you like Dev Diaries. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Everyone who loved this video also loved this one. Give it a click.